Okay, today we're going to tackle about the book review of the novel entitled Divergent. So the author is Veronica Roth, and the genres are dystopian, speculative fiction, and young adult. So it is published by Catherine Pagan Books, and it was published on May 2011. So it consists of 487 pages. In Beatrice Pryor's dystopian Chicago, society is divided into 5 factions, each dedicated to the cultivation of a particular virtue. The candor is the honest ones, abnegation, the selfless, dauntless, the brave, amity, the peaceful, and erudite, the intelligent. On an appointed day of every year, all 16 years old must select the faction to which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both, so she makes a choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice renames herself Therese and struggles to determine who her friends really are, and where, exactly, a romance with a sometimes fascinating, sometimes infuriating boy fits into the life she's chosen. But Therese also has a secret, one she kept hidden from everyone because she's been warned. It can mean death, and as she discovers a growing conflict that threatens to unravel her seemingly perfect society, she also learns that her secret might help save those she loves, or it might destroy her. Debut author Veronica Roth burst on the literary scene with the first book in the Divergent series, dystopian thrillers filled with electrifying decisions, heartbreaking betrayals, stunning consequences, and unexpected romance. I'm kind of a dystopian fan. Divergent has been on my radar for a while. Although I was a bit skeptical after reading the book's premise, I was more skeptical when the rave reviews started to roll in. Because, if we're being completely honest, super popular dystopian novels of the teen persuasion of late have been, well, thoughtfully in my opinion. Still, I vowed to give Divergent an honest chance because you never know, and a good book could surprise you. In a world driven by human feelings of greed, ignorance, lies, cowardice, and needless aggression, a new society has emerged. From the brink of apocalypse, humanity has reorganized itself in a future version of Chicago, split into 5 factions that uphold and live by a single core value. Those that believe the world fallen because of malicious, selfish greed formed the faction of abnegation, sworn to remain selfless and serve the needs of others. Those that believed that the collapse was due to the ignorance pledged themselves to the erudite track, always thirsting for knowledge. Those who felt aggression, the power hunger were the root of society's collapse, became the members of amity, taking the mantle of peace at all costs. And finally, those who felt that the root of all their problems stemmed from plain cowardice threw themselves into the tribe of the dauntless, the faction of the courageous and strong. The abnegation family, Beatrice has lived her life trying to uphold the ideals of her parents, only allowed to look in the mirror once a year. Outfitted in the plainest drab clothing, Beatrice has strived to be as kind as her mother, as calm as her older brother, and as good as civil servant of her father. But Beatrice has always known that she's different, and she doesn't belong in abnegation, wistfully observing the dreadful chaos of the dauntless-born kids as they crow and leap from running trains on the way to school. Beatrice struggles with her emotions because at 16 years old, her aptitude test and choosing day have arrived. Beatrice's test results, however, are inconclusive. It turns out that she is one of a very rare subset of the population, a divergent. Her tests show that she does not fall neatly into one of the present factions, but displays traits dominant to the erudite, abnegation, and dauntless clans. When her time to choose arrives, she follows her heart and chooses to be selfish but brave, abandoning her family and choosing dauntless. While switching clans in itself takes fearlessness, Beatrice soon learns that if she wants to be initiated into the faction, it will take much more than a simple choice. With only 10 spots available and more than double the number of hopefuls, Beatrice struggles to make her way in a ruthless initiation trial and discovers not only what she's truly made of, but what it truly means to be a Divergent. Divergent is Veronica Roth's debut novel, and the latest entry in a long string of dystopian hopefuls attempting to cash in and on blockbuster success of the trilogy that must not be named. The outbreak of so-called dystopias has been both a blessing and a curse for the avid fan. A blessing because as one of the coolest subgenres around, an uptick in popularity means more people are getting introduced to the rockin' world of dystopian fiction. A curse because in the wake of said blockbuster trilogy, a whole lot of crop is getting chumped out, making it harder for the gems to be found amongst the rubble. Having been burned by a number of wishy-washy titles masquerading as dystopias, my expectation for Divergent were understandably low. Ultimately, Divergent took me by surprise because once I was able to suspend disbelief with regards to the societal structure, I found myself truly enjoying this engrossing action-filled novel. The first thing that bears mentioning is the inherent simplicity and implausibly with regards to the structure of Divergent's world. The entire system, predicted and 5-character trait, seems like a flimsy, silly constructive. How could any person with their myriad emotions and experience be reduced to a single quality to abide by for the rest of their lives, chosen at the age of 16, no less? Divergent's Chicago seems like a doomed social experiment conducted by some half-baked New Age loonies. At the same time, Divergent also falters in its early chapters by the initial similarities to Leslie's classic seminal dystopian novel, The Giver. Children are given aptitude tests and are assigned jobs in a vital ceremony each year. Though in Divergent, the children are 16. As opposed to The Giver's 12. Also, like The Giver, Divergent features a protagonist that does not fit into the clear-out professions defined by their respective societies. This criticism made, once Therese Beatrice Dauntless' name begins her initiation trials, it becomes easier to overlook some of the most dubious elements of the novel and simply become engrossed in what is ultimately a fantastic story. With her first leap from the rooftop above the Dauntless lair, Divergent began to work its magic on my skeptical brain, and I liked it. People, I liked it a lot. Yes, a few of the things about the young adult paranormal dystopian genre that generally piss me off are present here. The tepid intro romance, the tendency for everyone to OMG love and want to protect the little pretty protagonist Therese. But these annoyances are served by an conventional character choice because Therese is not your usual Mary Sue. She's selfish, she's manipulative, she's vindictive as hell, and I love that about this book. I mean, at that point, when a character asks for forgiveness, she coldly refuses, really coldly. I mean, holy masked Avenger Batman.
Okay.
It's brutal but refreshing since these heroines are so often little good to shoes that forgive even the most heinous acts. I also love that Tris gets seriously beat up, and while she does toughen up and become a better fighter, she never becomes an amazing base, sharp-shooting ninja warrior. And that's cool. I love the believable tension between herself and her fellow initiates. Discrimination she feels as a stiff, abnegation-born, her anger with her family, and most of all, how tough she has to become to survive and truly be dauntless and a Divergent. Still, Divergent is a far and away the best dystopian youth adult title I've ever read this year, and I cannot wait for more. Though it's not quite top 10 material, it's absolutely one of my notable reads of 2011 so far. So that's all.